Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Yvonne Princess Shabangu, and if you are new here, you're welcome to like, subscribe, share, and comment, and voila, you're welcome to the graceful, the beautiful, and the wonderful family. And we are back with another Employment Wednesday video. So before I go into it, guys, I'd like to express my gratitude for everyone that is returning and also everyone that is sharing my videos and everyone that is watching the channel. The channel has finally monetized. Don't forget to watch the ads. So thank you guys so much. I'm really grateful. I appreciate it. And I hope that the channel is making an impact in your life. If it is making an impact in your life, send me your DM, send me a DM, send me an email or whatever the case may be, and tell me how the channel has changed your life, and maybe I'll be able to share your experiences with other people as well. So without going into too much yada 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 yada, let's go into the business of the day. So today I am going to be talking about the process of resigning, resignation process. Resigning, guys. I quit. I quit. I have quit before. That's what I mean. But yeah, I'm just going to talk about the process of resigning, the process of moving from one job to another, how it impacted me and how it made me feel, right? So I'll give you guys context. I look for a job. The reason why I'm so passionate about Employment Wednesdays is because I know how it feels like to be a graduate that is doing well also in their studies and not be able to get a job, right? So I did not know that as a lawyer, you need to start looking for articles or rather training in your not first year you can do back work, but from your second year, you need to start looking for a job, right? I didn't know that. I thought, you know what, you just do your studies and then voila, you are now a lawyer. You're just going to get employed and you're admitted and stuff like that. I didn't know that it was a long process. So I started looking for a job a little bit late. I started looking for a job like around about my third year. And guys, I tell you, it was the hardest seasons of my life because I sent in CVs. I did not get any responses. I attended over from third year to finding a job. I finally got a job, I think around about 2020. So within the 2 or the 3 years, I attended over 25 interviews, and some of them would just go AWOL, and then I got about 4 offers, and then I'll come to that as well. I think those that know like the brief synopsis of what really transpired, right? So I'm searching for a job. I can't find a job. I'm searching. Then my dad came with this master plan. He said to me, you've been applying on email and you're not getting any response. So given that I work in different office parks whereby there's different law firms, let me help you submit the CV. So what you can do is print out your CVs, attach your academic record, your cover letters and everything. Every time I'm in a different office park, I'll just drop off your CV, right? My dad did that for me, guys. My dad did that, and then I applied. He kept on dropping off his CVs. I didn't stop sending emails. I didn't stop praying. I didn't stop doing research. And then I would also check out firms on LinkedIn, firms that are hiring and stuff like that, right? So it was an intense process, guys. Finding a job, guys, is not like a one-day thing. Like, yes, God creates or gives us miracles or makes miracles and stuff like that, but it's not a thing whereby you just wake up and you're like, oh, I've sent one CV, that's it. Sometimes you can send over 1,000 CVs and get about 10 responses. That's how intense it is. And given that we live in a country that has high unemployment rate, you can't stop. You can't afford to stop. So even when you find a job, when you feel like you're no longer growing, it's important that you actually find a better job. So, okay, cool. I attend my interviews. I attend one interview at the firm that I currently work at right now. The firm that I moved to after having found a job at a different firm, right? I get an interview. I get interviewed. I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was fun and vibes and everything like that. Do they give me a response? No. What do? They keep quiet. Me being the curious person that I am, I call them like, hey guys, the interview seemed to have went well. What's the level? What's happening? They're like, oh no, we loved you so much, but here's the chat. We're moving to bigger offices. When we move to bigger offices, we'll call you. And guys, I knew that was it. Actually, I told myself that it's done. I don't have the job. I'll move on, right? Continued attending interviews. I had about 3-4 interviews cancelled just like that. I was like, hey, whoa, is this witchcraft or something? I even felt like I wasn't praying enough. So that happens, and then I finally get a job at one law firm in Parktown. My interview was great. I enjoyed it. Like, I was interviewed by two beautiful, amazing ladies. It was fun. And then they call me. Oh, and then I go to work in Cape Town. Guys, I was determined to get a job. Like, I went as far as going to Cape Town to work. I was even ready to move to Cape Town. So I attend this beautiful interview as well. And then I go to work in Cape Town, get to Cape Town, do my work, get the job, right? But the job requires me to move in September because I did work around August. So it wants me to move beginning week of September. Then I tell the person, hey, I can't really move just like that. Like, my whole life is in Joburg, so I can't just up and go, you know? So I need to at least prepare myself. I need to go back home. I need to be ready. I need to position my mind mentally, right? All of that happens and everything is good. Life is good, right? And then they say, okay, no, it's fine. You can start in January. I'm like, okay, cool. But then I don't sign the offer, right? Something, you know, God being God, guys. Like, I'm sorry to bore you, but I love God. Like, I love God. It's weird for me to actually finish a conversation without mentioning how God is so amazing and beautiful in my life, right? So that happens. After that happens, I don't sign the contract. For some odd reason, I have to keep on forgetting or something. And then they kept on sending me emails. Hey, sign your offer, sign your offer. I kept on saying, I'll do so. The very final day when they told me that this is the last day, you know what happened, guys? I had my laptop on my hands. I passed out. Like, I don't know. I would like to believe that Angel Gabriela came that day, was like, you are sleeping. You are not signing this contract. And then I passed out in sleep, right? Then I wake up. When I wake up, I'm like, let me check my emails before I complete this contract. I get an email that tells me, hey, you got the job. I got the job at that other law firm in Parktown that I'd interviewed just before I went to Cape Town. So the pay is better, and considering that it's in Joburg, comfort zone and everything, I'm like, oh, deuces, you know, I'm not going to accept the offer in Cape Town. I'm just going to stay in Joburg. Then great, life is good. I go, they tell me that, hey, you can start in Feb. Actually, they said you can start in March. God being God, guys. You can start in March, right? First week of March. And then I'm like, okay, great. I was even flexing on my friends. I'm like, hey, I have 3 months to work on self, you know, to fix my wardrobe and do whatever that I want. And hey, oh boy, was I not lying to myself? You know, so how first week of Jan, I hear, hey, are you available to start next week, Monday? I'm like, oh, what's happening? What's the level, you know? And then I'm like, yeah, sure thing. Then I go, I start, right? I start working there. I save up. I do my driving lessons. I get my license and great. And I'm eating life for knife, right? But now I start realizing that actually, no, I'm misaligned. It's very important to be aligned where you work, guys. I can never stress this enough, right? A lot of the times people want to focus on the money and physical growth. But one thing I can tell you, you can never strive in an environment where you are misaligned. You need to be aligned. Your values, their values, your vision, their vision, you need to be aligned. You need to feel like you're growing with the brand. You need to have an understanding, you know. You need to be able to position yourself in a company. If you can't find your spot in a company, there's something wrong. You're probably going to mess up every day in that company, or you're going to be unhappy. There's something that's going to throw you off, right? So everything is good, but I realized something. There's this thing about me. I easily get bored. Like, people that know me, I'm very, what's the word? Like, I'm very spontaneous, right? Even with working out, I don't even know how I've been consistent. I don't like the idea of doing the same thing over and over again. I want to be challenged. I want a person to rock up and be like, hey, today we're doing an arbitration. And let's say I'm used to doing mediation, or whatever the case may be, right? But I want a person who sparks out my intelligence. You know, I don't like being meek. I like things that force me to think. I like things that make me wonder, am I that smart? Actually, you know? So I started realizing that at that particular firm, now I'm doing the same thing over and over again, you know? And if you know very well in the kind of profession that I am in as a lawyer, we have a lot of, we deal with a lot of precedents, right? A lot of our drafts that we do, obviously you have to look at a rule, look at a precedent and stuff like that. So I realized that I'm doing this thing over and over again, right? I'm doing this thing over and over again, right? Over and over again. It's not repetitive. Now I'm no longer growing. At the first 2-3 months, it was great because I'm not familiar. But now I'm too familiar. And God hears my cry. I get a random call from that firm that had told me that they're moving to bigger bigger, bigger offices and stuff like that. Like, hey, are you still available? Do you still want to work with us? I'm like, sure thing. And then I go there. It wasn't even an interview. It was a conversation. Like, it was beautiful all over again. And then, yeah, they chose me, right? And then I went back 15 April. I went to, so what happened was I was like, no, I'll start at the end of the month, actually, right? Yeah, so it was, I served my notice. And yo, guys, I served my notice immediately. I didn't want any compromises. I was like, hey, I'm resigning. Like, guys, I wasn't even formal. I feel so bad. You guys need to be professional, right? When you resign, draft out a proper letter and stuff. Like, I just drafted a meeting. I sent my principal an email saying, hey, I like with the regrets, unfortunately, I have to resign with immediate effect. See, I put a full stop, and then I'm like, I'm resigning with immediate effect due to personal reasons, and there's a lot of things that I need to focus on, right? I'm told you don't have to specify your reasons for resignation. You can simply be like, hey guys, I'm serving my notice, I'm good, deuces, right? But I felt so bad because, often with a lot of jobs, a lot of people change companies because of they're treated badly and stuff. I wasn't treated badly. Like, it was good. It was a healthy environment. It wasn't bad. It was just not good for my growth, right? So, yeah, I felt so bad. And after sending that email, my principal calls me in. I'm like, see? So I go to her office and she says, what's wrong? Is everything okay? And stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Just feel like there's just so much going on right now in my life that I need to realign, redesign, and stuff like that. Then she's like, no, great. It's fine. You can go, but whenever you're ready or whenever you want to do your articles, you can always come back. Open door policy. I think for me it also was a blessing, but it also made me feel even further bad to say this person even felt like if I needed to come back, I could always come back. So she said that and stuff like that. And then also what really happened during that week, right? As you guys know, I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but for you to do your articles need to be registered. Guys, my articles were just failing to register. Under normal circumstances, right, during COVID, a lot of people had their articles like registered within 4 weeks. My articles were just bumping off. I'd call, it's this or that. Now, after I got a different job at a different law firm and considering the whole seeding process, I realized why God was not allowing my articles to be registered. I was misplaced. I was at the wrong place, at the wrong time, So I went into the new law firm. I love it. I love the people that I work with, guys. I love where I work. I love the environment. Days are not the same. Some days are really terrible because, being a lawyer is military. It's hard. You work crazy hours, or you have to deal with crazy things and stuff like that. But really, generally, I'm happy. I enjoy it, right? But it was a little bit hard in that, like, for instance, now the firm that I came from was a medium firm, right? I was just in my corner. There wasn't a kind of family culture kind of thing, right? I get to the new law firm. We're small. We more like family. We treat each other like family, right? So now I have to adjust the whole thing of putting myself in a bubble where I don't ask for help or where I don't ask for things or whatever the case may be. It was a bit, okay, I easily adjust. That's one of my top things. I don't put in, I'm a hard worker in my CV. I put in, I easily adjust, I'm able to learn fast and stuff like that, because I'd be lying if I say I'm an extremely hard worker, because I believe in just doing things properly and doing them well and being able to learn and being able to expertise. Hard work or hard labor, not my brand. Anyway, so I believe in excellence, but not hard labor. So, and then when I get there, the first week was a little bit hard, right? Or the first 2 weeks were a little bit hard in terms of culture shock, because I'm there and now I need to ask for help. And because now we're doing serious things, now we are drafting pleas, and now we are drafting serious things. We're drafting summons now. You're not just drafting your Rule 23 notice, that kind of thing. You're drafting serious things, and now you're attending consultations. Now you need to warm up to the environment. I struggled a little bit internally because I'm like, oh no, what if I warm up too much and then tomorrow I'm told, oh no, we're not going to return you and stuff like that. Those kind of things. I was just overthinking the whole process. But as soon as I I adjusted. Everything started falling into places. I started understanding the people around me, understanding how each director works or what each director expects from me. So it became very, very, very much easier, right? That was my whole process. So I didn't go through an intense process of resignation or an intense process of quitting, because I think, guys, the best thing, okay, don't lie and say, oh no, maybe you have problems, but the best thing to say is like, hey, I'm resigning with immediate effect due to personal reasons. And also, it's important that you read your contract, guys, because some people tell you that you need to serve 30-day notice, but also because if really you need to leave, some people tell you, no, it's fine, you can leave before your 30-day notice, you can leave immediately, you can leave in 15 days, depending on the company structure. So it's important that you familiarize yourself with the agreement that you enter into, your employment contract or your employment agreement. Also, it would entail your working hours, how you resign, whether you're permanent, whether it's fixed and stuff like that. So yeah. And then let me see. Some people asked me a couple of questions. I'm not sure if I've answered them already. Oh, and then somebody asked me, was it easy finding employment? Guys, there's nothing easy about finding employment. Finding employment is hard. Like, I think it's one of the hardest things that a young person or even any person in South Africa can go through, because some days you really feel motivated and some days you really feel like you did great in an interview and they tell you, we regret to inform you that you're not the selected one. Or sometimes you find a job but it's underpaying you or it's overworking you. So really finding the best company to work for is hard, which is why you need external wisdom, like from God, because wow, guys. And then what was the best and the worst part of leaving your old firm? The best part was that I can learn, I can become more, I can grow. And God willingly, I think I can possibly become a partner at my current firm. I can easily, not easily per se, but I can work my way through becoming associate, senior associate, director, senior director, or equity partner, whatever the case may be. But I see the vision, I see the growth, right? And then, so that's the best part about leaving my old firm. And then the worst part about leaving my old firm, guys. I'm speaking for OCAs, and don't think I'm lazy. Nah, I show up. But the best part was leaving the office at 4 p.m. Like the worst, guys. The best part is that in my new firm, I can learn, right? And then the worst is that before I, 4:30, I'm out. I don't have to carry work home and all of that. It was literally strictly from 8 o'clock until 4 p.m. And that's that. But now currently at my law firm, 24/7, we are making money. We are billing and billing out of control. So yeah, I know every CA would like to go home, would like to go home at 12 p.m. If possible, really. Yeah, for all candidates. I think all junior employees, actually, you just want to walk in the office and say, good morning, sirs, and just read emails and just go back home. And that's the worst. Now I can't do that anymore, but the best thing is that I'm growing, I'm becoming a better person, I'm becoming a better lawyer, and yeah, my character is evolving, I'm developing and stuff like that. So that's the beauty of it. And then, what was the process you had to go through for you to move to your new firm? Okay, my new firm is not really intense, guys, in terms of induction and vibes. Like I'm saying, we're small. It's 10 of us. It's more like family. I had a conversation with each director. I think my first Friday, we had drinks, we chilled, and then they wanted to see, after beverage, how do I behave? Can I be taken to serious places, or can they leave me behind? 2K behavior, or whatever the case may be. So I didn't go through any intense induction and stuff like that. I know some companies, like at my old law firm, the first week it was like an induction week. So basically they told me about the systems of the law firm and stuff like that, and then they made me go to lots of offices, introducing me to lots of people. But now at my new firm, really, the only process I had to go through, I got my MacBook. We use serious gadgets. I'm joking, guys, but yeah, got my laptop, got set up, work systems and stuff like that, and then yeah, that's it really. Got introduced to my colleagues, and that was that. Nothing deep or intense, shame. I love the onboarding process. Okay, we don't call it onboarding, we call it inductions as junior employees, but yeah, I loved it because it was simple, nothing technical, nothing weird or vibes like that. And then What would you say to a person searching for articles or looking to move to another firm? Guys, number one, seeding articles is hard in that I'm actually going to have an interview with a friend of mine, right? But seeding articles is hard in that affidavits, the whole process of affidavits and stuff like that, right? Remember, your first principal must sign an affidavit confirming the time you served at their law firm, your second principal, your third principal, right? Number one, if any of those principals go missing, your admission will be on hold because their affidavit is missing. So I think you need to bear in mind all of those things. But also, if the environment is not conducive, I would advise that you move, because for me it was much more easier. My articles weren't registered as yet, so when I went to my new firm, yes, I wasted 3 months of the year, but I couldn't care less. When I went into my new firm, I was fresh, starting from all over, right? My articles only started running when I started at my new law firm. So yeah, and then so don't just move, because also 2 years is a short time, guys. I understand, we are focused hands and kings and stuff like that. We want our bag, we know our rights, we know our worth, right? But I would say, personally, I'd say if you can stomach it in for 1 year and ask for condonation, then you get admitted properly, right? Or you stomach it in for 2 years, and after your admission, you go and find a job at a different place, because the whole process of affidavits and all of that drama is not as great, right? And if you're searching for articles, guys, there are a lot of law firms in South Africa, and a lot of those law firms are small and medium firms, and a lot of them don't advertise their posts online. So you have to be out looking for them. You have to be searching. You have to be you have to go out there. You have to put yourself out there. They're not gonna come knocking go sanbona ngena, that kind of thing. You're going to have to go look. You're going to have to go sell yourself. You're going to have to go and say, hi guys, this is what I'm offering you, this is what I can bring to the table. So I would say don't stop searching, and also innovate your ways of finding articles, guys. Also attend these workshops, there's these webinars, workshops, and just be like, hi guys, so for instance, they have these sessions, let's say physically, they have these sessions whereby you break, you start needling and having conversation. Just approach a random director. Hey, my name is so and so and so and so, can I shadow you? Or do you by any chance have a position at your law firm? If you don't, can I just come on holidays just to get experience? You don't have to pay me, but be innovative. Don't use the linear process of saying, oh no, I've put this, I've emailed it, they've not responded, that's it, it's over. When you can, go to the places physically. And also, guys, I don't know if you guys ever heard this in one of my videos, but I'd say group yourselves. We stay in different, and I know it's a bit tricky given that people do dodge things with people's documents and stuff, right? But I would say, because we stay in different regions, for instance, I work in Sandton. There's a lot of law firms in Sandton, right? It's just unfortunate that I'm never out of the office like that. I'm always in the office, right? But let's just say I work in an area with a lot of law firms. You can just send me your CVs. Hi V, when you pass by different law firms, can you physically drop these off? Or Parktown, do the same. And this is not just to say for law firms, even people looking for employment in general, group yourselves. Hey, you stay in Limpopo, are there any companies close by there? Oh, here's my specialty, please submit my CV. If that person is a good-hearted person who wants you to get a job, they will submit it for you and you will get that job. Because this thing of putting ourselves in boxes whereby we oh no, Mina, I'll just apply in Sandton, or Mina, I'll just apply in Rosebank and stuff like that, it won't work. Because yeah, we are a lot of us. There's a lot of us looking for jobs, and there's only so much that companies can do. And if you believe you're called to start a business, find ways to get sponsors to sponsor your business and start a business and maybe create employment, So yeah, basically, guys, that was it. It wasn't intense having to resign or having to quit at my old job, and I'm glad that it wasn't associated with any negative vibes to say I'm leaving because my principal treated me so badly. It was an internal personal thing that I sat down, I had to think about it and sit down and be like, actually, you know what, I want to be this kind of person 5 years from now, and this company is not going to give me that, so I need to move. And I think the beauty about, I would always say, guys, if you need to move, the earlier the better. Don't stay longer. Actually, don't stay too long in a company that it will end up feeling like you blackmailing yourself and overthinking stuff and stuff like that. The sooner you do it, the better. It's always important that you sit down and evaluate, what does the company give me? What do I give it? Where is it in my future? And if it doesn't align, the sooner the better you leave. Because I think, especially when you're younger, as a young person, it's much easier, especially if you don't have responsibilities. I know, like I always say this to my friends and to people around me, like I'm making all the weird or all the risky decisions that you can think of right now, because I don't have any child that I need to go back to at home, or any person that I need to feel like, oh no, if I leave this job, how am I going to pay this? Or neither do I have a lot of things that I need to pay, or a lot of debit orders whereby I'll be like, oh, if I don't have a job, or if I don't have this won't work out. So it's always important that you look at your circumstances. If your circumstances allow, guys, you must leave things that don't serve you. If it doesn't serve you, if you're not growing, if it's not aligning, pack your bags and leave. And also, I'd always advise that always leave for better. Don't leave just to be a potato, potato. Don't leave to be a potato. In that, like for instance, I feel like you always know, maybe within the first month, you see, well, this company is not the one. You start searching for a job. So that by the time you actually be like, deuces, you are moving to another better company, or you have 1 week or 2 weeks of resting and stuff like that, then you're moving to a better place. So yeah, the whole process of resigning, it wasn't bad. Usually the processes of resigning or ending an agreement or whatever the case may be are bad if you breach your agreement. If you don't read your agreement and then you breach it, then it becomes ugly, because you're being told, oh no, you have to serve your time. And I'm so glad that my agreement wasn't limiting to say, oh no, you can't work for a specific company for a certain period and stuff like that, because there are agreements that are like that, especially when you start working as a permanent. They tell you that for 12 months you can't do this work with any other person, so you find yourself stuck. So it's always important to familiarize yourself with the agreement and look at your future, look at your plans, look at what you want to become and what you want to do, and all of those kind of things. It shouldn't be bad. As long as you teach yourself to read the agreements and the contracts you enter into, your resignation process won't be ugly. So yeah, this was my experience moving from one law firm to another. Do not forget to be loved. Do not forget to be loved. Do not forget to be kindness. Do not forget that God loves you. And don't forget to pray for another person. Don't forget to share job posts. Don't forget to be there for one another. Don't forget to help each other edit CVs. Because, guys, we don't have money to pay people to do CVs for us. So the least we can do is be there for one another and assist one another in a way that we can. And don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to watch those ads.